Daughters of the American Revolution is a heritage society for women who are direct descendants of those who won America's independence. In 1929, they dedicated their national headquarters, Constitution Hall, so the building could reflect the contribution we the people, the momentous words that begin the United States Constitution, have made to society. People come to Constitution Hall because of the energy that emanates from its powerful history. Every president from Calvin Coolidge to Barack Obama has attended a memorable event here. Some of the great debates of our society have occurred in these halls, and vigorous social changes have found their genesis in this hall, such as the support to have African-American singer Marian Anderson perform here. Constitution Hall also serves as the world stage in America for nations around the world. Cultural events such as the Japanese Symphony and the Vienna Boys Choir have all graced the halls of this historic location. So have momentous gatherings of many of the world's bedrock institutions, including the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. That is why we have brought our future leaders of First Global here, well worthy of inheriting the historic lineage they are now a part of.
So you're going to note in a couple of minutes that this competition is one where we don't just have hundreds with us in attendance today, but we've also got people who are going to be joining us from abroad and Skyping in. This is something that virtually for us is incredibly important, but we also want to focus on our next team of Chile. And they're the feature of this story in this hallowed hall. They're the backbone of South America, and they're certainly going to need a lot of backbone here in terms of the competition in the 6 rounds we've got ahead of us.
I'm really excited about First Global because it seems like it's a really innovative and really like the first opportunity in the world of technology and STEM, an opportunity for young people to come together and create a really large network of connections that will probably last for their lifetime.
So even though we feature DAR as a historic and iconic building, what Chile is actually doing is pretty interesting as well. Scientists at the Catholic University of Santiago, they invented a device to protect some of its tallest buildings from earthquakes, and that's just one of many examples. Like we have water access in terms of this challenge. They're solving a real-world problem using science and technology, something that's very important for us to consider. And so in terms of this game getting up and running, we're 30 seconds in. And that Aqua Alliance is off to a 5-point lead. We've got Belgium, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then we got Bosnia and Herzegovina right now, up to that 5-0 lead right now. We've got Australia, Chile, and Norway on the other side of the action. And hopefully we can get this streaming in from Australia, again, trying to join us remotely, even though they're on the complete opposite side of the globe watching us right now. You can see them in their living room with bated breath as they watch their team compete for their country, and the flag in the background and waving so proudly for the students who are here representing them.
And if you zoom out a little bit, you can actually see Team Australia right there on the Hydro Alliance, holding their water particles, waiting to head over and drop them off in their village. On the same alliance, we can see a team dropping off just their contaminant particles right into the laboratory for some extra points. As you can see, the Hydro Alliance team taking the lead 21-22 with a minute left to go.
Now, one unsuspecting team that has kind of been in the background in this competition up until now is Norway. You just saw them a brief couple seconds ago in that last camera shot, dropping a bunch of those uncontaminated balls into their water reserves, and still in that corner, but trying to make it to the bridge. I think they've got about 5 or 6 of those contaminants. If they end up unloading that, that's another solid 20 to 30 points for their team. Hopefully they can get that going in the next 45 seconds, and there they are, heading up the bridge.
Yep, you can see them about to turn and hopefully drop all those balls right in there as a big score boost right before we hit the last 30 seconds of the game.
Again, the line between success and failure in robotics is so fine and so thin. They're only a couple of inches away from getting their team, especially with that 1-point lead. You see how close they are to getting over that hump.
And now as we hit the last final seconds, you can see a couple teams preparing to hang. We have 2 teams on the Aqua Alliance pulling their robots up, and one on the Hydro Alliance looks like getting into position, ready to go.
3 teams trying to make it up to the bridge. You hear a lot of people who are cheering down in those pits right now, trying to help their team.
And as the game ends up, everyone will drop the controllers and we'll get the final score up on the board in 1 second.
74-67, quite a tight game in Australia. Even though they weren't coming out on top, they feel like champions again. Their families and their fans joining them from abroad. And in terms of our next game that we have lined up, we've got a team with 3 different personalities, but again, what they have in common in terms of robotics, as well as the teams that are competing here, their commonalities very much eclipsing their differences. Now we take our attention to Suriname.